The water in Mallorca doesn't taste like what it ought to.
No. The water in Majorca don't taste like what it ought to.
The water in Mallorca doesn't taste quite how it should.
Majorca!
Mallorca?
Majorca!
Mallorca?
Hi, Dale. Any danger of some refreshment in here?
Here you are. Get your laughing gear in there.
Oh, golly. The water in Majorca
What's that?
don't taste like what it oughta. Oh, gosh. The water in Majorca don't taste like what it oughta.
She's cracked it. She's only cracked it.
You're absolutely wrong.
Heineken refreshes the parts what other beers cannot reach.
It's a little bit of investigations now. Now, where I was watching this, even looking at these comments. Yeah, comments about the H dropping in English, seen as a sign of uneducated speech, and this leads to more knowledge. Where you have the H bomb. Right, so if you know this book read by the George Bernard Shaw, interesting, you got pig and lion and that. Pig and lion. Now it's about the satire of the English class thing. Yeah, as it says, you have satire on the English language and society by Nobel laureate George Bernard Shaw, about the phonetic reformer Henry Higgins. So the type of idea on that is like Henry Higgins, you know, like the gets the lass and tries to educate her to speak proper English. And sort of Henry Higgins, you know, like dropping the H, like H dropping. So you see here they're using it as a type of joke for Carla Hair Salon in London. Because this is to do with that Cockney, you know, type ideas. You know, so this is based on that Pygmalion and the subsequent movie, which was My Fair Lady, which was Rex Harrison, you know. And so to do with that H dropping, you know, like the commoners drop the H's, and the sort of the posh people are well spoken, and they sort of pronounce H. See, so it's like it's based on that. Right? So as you can see, it's phonetics. So the phonetics is a branch of linguistics. And that's what this is about. Now from this you get H-bomb, which was basically a hex and spell, right, on the commoner by obviously the upper class. Right? The H-bomb, drop the H-bomb, is directly to do with this. Right? It's you know, it's like the upper class again, sort of despising and taking the piss out of the commoner, you know, the peasant who doesn't speak the proper Queen's English, as they would call it, type of thing. See the trans there. You see nothing there but the rain in Spain, you know, which is a very famous part of it, where they try to teach you commoner to speak proper English, you know, upper class English, and pronounce all the H's, etc. So you're H dropping, stigmatized as a sign of uneducated speech. And then from that, we have to come up with the idea of dropping the nuclear bombs, which is dropping the H-bomb. Now, if you look at this particular photo, what there is there, that to me looks like a brain, right? A brain cut off from the body. Obviously, you call it mushroom cloud. Right? That to me looks like a brain disconnected from the body, right? Which would indicate on education, you know, like the education type of thing, but from their perspective, right? So this is what you call a hex and spell, right? Where obviously it was atomic, which is to do with Adam, you know, Adam in the Bible, right? It was the first man type idea, so again, it's like the first man and the second man. You know, the second one's the one who's been evolved through their science program type idea, right? And the first man becomes the one who's just normal, you know, naturally born. Like obviously Adam and Eve type of thing, you know. So Adam and Eve, yeah, thing, of course, they have to go through the, you know, the snake thing on the tree, which is their program, right? To come out the other side as educated or advanced or evolved people, as they say it, right? It's all about this idea of the first man or the uneducated peasant or commoner, like, you know, type of thing, right? So the age bomb. Again, like dropping the H's, you know, it's about dropping the bombs. Of course, from the perspective of doing a hex and spell, right? Japan is the Far East. It's a long way away, right? So basically, the communications between Japan and the Western countries would have been very, very small. You know what I mean? There would have been the communications to say, oh, this happened, or this didn't happen, or something like that, see? The communications gap would have been massive, like, you know. You see the NH bomb, right, is a thermonuclear weapon. Obviously, of TH, right? Which is this. And TH is this. Triple tower. Interesting, as you see, it was also it's the 19th letter of the Greek alphabet, so a curve of 19. Right? Yeah. That's how it's TH. Now, as you know, H bomb means hydrogen bomb. So there's apparently an example of one 1950. Right? Yeah, 3 rings on it. Again, hydrogen is basically a code, right? Example, Hydra is the snake, right? So the serpent and snake is always that, basically that trans program, right? Hydra, and you have the drug in the middle of that, and apparently it utilizes nuclear fusion, right? Which again is something to do with putting people through their program, right? Hydra's the serpentine lake monster. See how that becomes the Hydra. Again, it becomes the trans program. If you remember the images of Moses, and he's brass serpent. It's basically the same as that. Right? So this lake monster serpent, Hydreigon, Hydreigon bomb. Right? The dragon and the serpent and the snake is always that. You see, it's how it's got many heads of terror. So that explains the terror idea, right? So here basically how Hydra become Hudra, right? Hud, associated with a Quranic figure, Hud, a prophet sent to the ancient people of Ad. You've been Ad. Hud means to guide or lead. Hud the prophet. So basically you're talking about this stuff obviously corresponding to the religious stuff. Basically serpents and snakes, or the characters in the Bible. Hud meaning hood, like Robin Hood, Hudson, Hudson. Again, Hud meaning majesty or glory and associated with divine protection, God's presence. So basically Hud, means God. So God is basically a snake or serpent, if you see what I mean. again, right, so when you have water is H2O, right? The hydrogen oxygen combination. And again, the hydra is the water snake, serpent. So it's to do with the water being filled with chemical and then injected in. Remember the movie by The Clockwork Oranges? Right, it was about the Droogs, the Droogans. So basically the Droogs is drugs, right? So they took the drugs. You see that type of thing. It's all about taking the trans drugs, you know, like the Droogan, the Droogs. Right? Obviously that was written by Anthony Burgess, so we're posh with that. Right? So obviously Xaverian College, you know, this Burgess was obviously trans, you know, he's right in with a trans program. Seen as an intellectual or something. Then basically have the name Rogan, like Hydrogen, again, dragon or drug user, you know, the type of thing. Obviously this name is quite prevalent amongst certain type of peoples and that. Rogan. This same one, of course, just turned the AOA upside down. It's exactly the same. And just turn it upside down. So again, we got the doctor. This is, of course, why the caduceus symbol, you know, of medicine has the serpent again, the serpent and the needle. Because the injecting of this medicine, which is basically kept a secret, not across the whole world and that, but it's the foundation of the system. This medicine what they use. Of course, you know, Hermes, like hermaphrodites. And then again, from that you get Aphrodite, just a never-ending series of codes. Never-ending series of codes.